Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very sad edition of Coping with Donald. It is the last day of February, February 28th, 2026. And of course, everybody knows about what's happening in Iran. I'm just going to give an overview opinion on what's been happening this week, and I'm going to put this on pause for later because I know I'm going to be hitting the pause button because I want to say everything in the right order. I just want to go back to the State of the Union, even though that seems like a year ago. But Donald Trump came out for the State of the Union and basically uh, gave out a lot of awards. He talked about our great economy. You have to put the word "great" into quotes. He thinks we have a great economy. I want to remind people that several days after that, the great economy had a core CPI reading of zero point 0.8. Now, what that means is that in 1 month, core prices, core items, you take out the things like dishwashers, which you don't buy all the time, but the core items of the food and gasoline and electric and things like that. It rose 0.8%. Economists were looking for 0.3%. I think you can notice the difference in that. That's coming up. That will be passed along to the consumer. It has to be. Okay? 0.8% times 12 is a yearly rate, which I don't expect it to continue like that. Let's hope not. But it's a yearly rate of 9.6%, which was higher than the worst year of Biden inflation. Just again, want to let you know. Okay? So obviously, the great economy isn't so great. There aren't jobs being created. AI is taking away jobs. Anthropic said that in a year, half of our legal jobs, half of our legal jobs and financial jobs will be gone. That's what they predicted. More on Anthropic later. Now, I I wouldn't say that Donald Trump is responsible for the creation of AI or how it will affect jobs, but he certainly doesn't seem to care. But he's pushing it. We're going to be the nation of crypto and embracing AI. That's what he keeps pushing. Fake money and technology to take people's jobs away. As consumers, I suppose the best reaction would be to go on basically a consumer strike. However, that of course will cause more people to lose their jobs. That's the dilemma that we face. So we could go on a consumer strike, or we could go against companies that AI is involved with. Jack Dorsey of Square Incorporated, ticker XYZ on the stock exchange, boy, their stock went way up. Why? They eliminated 40% of their workforce because AI will be able to do it. They announced that at the end of the week. Again, I pardon me for this, okay? My throat isn't telling me this is the good time to do this, but there has to be some time to do this. So you can say, well, I'm not going to use Square. You can try to use some company that isn't too expensive, all right, that um, will do the same function of getting you paid, all right. But uh, let's face it, most of us don't get paid. Most of us aren't contractors who get paid through Square and stuff like that. But with a consumer strike, well, hang on while I pause this. A consumer strike probably isn't an option right now. It's a necessity because nobody has any money. If nobody has any money, you can't buy anything anyway. So you have to cut down on everything except food. Your water bill would be a good one to pay. Um, electric, and some kind of rent. Just remember, in a time where less Americans can afford rent and health care, if they even get health care, and food, than at any time in recent history, we're going to spend all this money to attack Iran to change the leader of Iran, and that's why they're doing it. They just threw away the whole nuclear agreement argument because Iran said, "Okay, you win on the nuclear stuff." So, rats. Now we don't have a reason to attack them. Let's just attack them. Trump actually tweeted something overnight about Iran interfered in the 2020 election. Can you believe that? I mean, that's really nuts. Okay. Uh, to people who voted for Trump 3 times, just give it up and say you were played and join the other side. And when I say the other side, you don't have to abandon your principles. You just have to stand against not a dictator wannabe, a dictator. Okay? There is no wannabe anymore. There is no, oh, they'll stop him from being a dictator or being fascist or anything like that. That is over. He went there. He is that now. We are the enemy to the civilized world. Europe cannot condone anything that we're doing. It's totally against their entire governmental structure, including Canada and Europe, probably even governments that we used to see as a scary enemy are probably less frightening than this United States of America. We talked about inflation. I'm worried, with this attack. And this, by the way, this attack should be called Operation Forget About Jeffrey. Remember Stephen Miller saying things a few months before the election like Kamala will start World War III? Okay? Obama, remember back in the day, Obama, he doesn't know how to negotiate. Trump knows how to negotiate. Oh, Obama doesn't. That's why he's going to attack Iran, which never happened. Obama will attack Iran so he can get reelected. That never happened. But Trump, this is the second time in a year he's attacked Iran. And many people are going to blame Israel, that Israel has led Trump and the United States by the nose. For whatever reason, maybe they have really damaging details about Epstein and Trump that they would release if he didn't. Who knows? Bibi Netanyahu was in the United States just 2 weeks ago, or maybe even more recently than that. I don't know the exact date. And what happens for not just MAGA followers who are wary of Israel and want MAGA to make the United States more affluent, or the people in it more affluent. Ah, pardon me on that, okay? More affluent. But the liberals are going to be more and more angry with the Jewish people that live in the United States. And I have said it before, the people in Israel are probably safer than the people who are Jewish in the United States. There is going to be so much hatred directed towards them, and unfortunately, that will probably be followed with acts of violence. That really bothers me. And yet the Jewish people were always, well, yeah, we have to protect Israel. And now I believe they're in danger in the United States. Anthropic is one of those AI companies. They are heavily involved in the U.S. military. And Pete Hegseth said last week No more Anthropic. We're going to get rid of them. And why? Because they're woke and they practice DEI. Now just think about that, okay? First of all, it clears the way for Elon. There's only like, or Sam Altman or one of those guys, and they are just as crazy as Trump. But to say you're getting rid of a company because they practice DEI, they're still hitting the DEI drum. So they're still able to practice racism while trying to starve America and destroy the world. Great. Just great. DEI, and I'll say this again, is based on the assumption that every white man is a better candidate for anything than any woman or any minority. All right? And there's no way that could be true. Even with the education department being fixed to provide less funds for schools with majority black populations, in the homeschooling, even with all of that, it's still not, and it would never be true when you're dealing with millions and millions of people. But that's the drum they want because that's what their hardcore supporters want to hear. They want to hear racism, violence, punishment. And they certainly get that because in a nation now, in a nation with no health care guarantee for people, really no health care plan for half of the country, people that can't afford their rent or their food, they have decided that it's time to have a total dictator slash fascist who suppresses his own citizens with, I would say, police power, but let's give a break to the police. It's really ICE power. And he openly now talks of controlling future elections by putting it under federal control, which would mean his control with all the dirty tricks possible. When you're stealing voting records, okay, you're stealing as well from Georgia's signatures that could be used to fill out somebody's voter card. I mean, it opens up such a can of worms. We are no longer in a constitutional democratic republic. Obviously, with this attack on Iran, bypassing Congress again, where he's openly defying again the Constitution. This man is a criminal. Please stop supporting him. Stop supporting him by telling your friends how great he is. When your friends say, oh, he's the greatest, tell them why you think it's not so great. With all the things that he's done, there's got to be something that rubs you the wrong way. Really. So, that's it for Coping with Donald. I'm a very angry Phil. And I hope my 27 subscribers can grow. Like and subscribe. Just even if it's just a place to get your anger out. Even though I don't really feel like it sometimes, I'll continue to make these videos just to let you know maybe somebody's thinking the same way you are. Okay? Have as good a day as possible.